Chief, first I wanted to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk to Classic City Guide. And the impetus for me calling you was I was just driving around realizing that the health science campus was about to open soon, and realized was that a 57-acre campus there?
Right, roughly. About
57-acre campus. And I thought, certainly that's going to change the way the UGA Police Department polices. I realize you have satellite campuses, so to speak, out in Oconee. I don't know if you deal with the equestrian facility all the way down in South Oconee, the Ag Department in Oglethorpe County. I know you're all the way down South Millage. So at first I thought, well, this is kind of unusual for you to be that far away from campus, but really it's not. But what this does do is adds a 57-acre area for you to police. And the question that I had was, how is that going to change what you do? And then how is it going to affect the community at large? Like the area Normaltown and the ride over to Normaltown. Are we going to see increased police presence and just a better community policing going on? And, you know, what is your jurisdiction between campus and Normaltown and that kind of thing? But the first thing I wanted to do was just ask you if you can tell us a little bit about the UGA Police Department, its size, its role at UGA, and then its role in the larger Athens area with regard to law enforcement and jurisdiction. Because I think a lot of times, especially younger people think, well, you can't pull me over, I'm a half a mile off campus and I'm safe. So,
you know, even have Athens residents think that sometimes. Well, first of all, you got to go back a little bit. You know, universities, large universities and colleges were probably the first leg in getting into what we call specialized policing. Before you had just city police and county sheriff's office, you started seeing county police evolve. And in the mid-late 60s, there was this push to really create campus policing, and it was when you first specialized. And now we got in park police now, we have port police now, we have transit police now. So as you go, if you look at the history of policing, there's been a lot of, I guess, where people have specified to geographical needs. When you look at our jurisdiction, the way our jurisdiction works is any Board of Regents property, whether it's owned, leased, or rented, we have jurisdiction on, and 500 yards beyond that property. So that's 1,500 feet. That's a good distance. And when it comes to traffic offenses, there's a state case law that says any police officer, whether they're in their jurisdiction or outside the jurisdiction, if they see a motor vehicle traffic violation, they can stop it and deal with it. So that comes into account sometimes here, and sometimes where you have cities inside larger counties where they may be going to a jail or another government building and see an infraction. But what we mainly concentrate on is the main campus. And when we look at the new health science campus, what we've basically looked at is just an addition to the main campus, and there's just some geographical area between there that's not really our properties. We've realigned our zones. Basically we break our department up in zones, and our officers are assigned patrol zones each day that they're responsible for. And officer numbers, we're roughly around 90 sworn police officers, and that we run 365, 24 hours a day, and we stay pretty busy. The good thing for the community, and I think if you spoke to Chief Lumpkin, he'd echo this, is that we are a good supplement to them, especially when we're going, all our properties are in their zones, of course, and where they may only have one officer, maybe two at the most, we may have another officer or two, and we're able to help patrol that zone for them. And we've helped them with some of their crime numbers in certain areas. We've answered calls for them when they're busy, vice versa. They assist us when they can. We work if we can see UGA property, we'll work the wreck on a city street for them. And it allows them to keep their officers freed up for some of the other things. Chief Lumpkin's and my idea of policing for this community, overall community, is that if we have something really bad happen, it's going to take both agencies to respond and handle it. And if we're expected to work very well together on a large incident, we got to work together well day to day. And we do everything we can to supplement each other and help each other. We do everything we can not to be repetitive in services. We have to be repetitive on that uniformed police presence out there and duplicate services. But there are certain services, like I have K9 that handle bombs. I have the bomb team, and he doesn't have those services. But he's got APHIS, and and tracking K9 that I don't have. There's no sense for us to each have those things when we can share with each other. We really help with the downtown area a good bit, especially in the evening hours. Anytime they call for any type of assistance, we try to provide it, and they do the same for us. We're on the same, we share radio frequencies where we can talk to each other. We also went on a CAD system, a computer-aided dispatch and record management system a couple years ago, which is one system county-wide, and both of us are on it. Even though we can act independently, we can see each other's information, see each other's calls for service and everything. One unique thing for this community that's unique, very unique compared to other communities, is that our dispatch center, the university put a new phone system in, and we're becoming a public safety answering point, a true 911. And a lot of communities only have one 911. We'll have two in this community, and for someone out in the community thinking, why does that matter? Well, the really neat thing that Chief Lumpkin and I both like from this is that if he were to lose his physical structure out there to an airplane crash, a flip at the Atrada switch would run all 911 calls into our center. Well, we've built our centers very similar. We're on the same computer software. He could bring his people over, put them to work with the flip of that switch, and there shouldn't be really any inconvenience to anybody in the Athens-Clarke County community, and vice versa for us. So we've done a number of things to build in redundancy plans, build in a business recovery plan to make sure we stay operational. Yeah. We back up each other's files. We have redundant fiber between each agency. And when you start looking at law enforcement agencies out there across the state of Georgia, the partnerships that we have are kind of unique. Sometimes police departments can become a little territorial. We've really tried to maintain that and not allow that to occur.
Yeah, it seems like there's a good relationship, especially downtown in the evenings. The one question I wanted to have, are there any particular challenges with the opening of the health science campus? Are they giving you more police officers?
We were given some more police officers. We were given 10 new positions. We were given some new vehicles in addition to our current fleet. We were given some operational money. The university administration has been very supportive of the police department and always has. Even through these tough budget times, they've done everything to really try to make sure that the police department didn't have any type of restrictions when it comes to budget.
Well, the cars always look completely clean. Everybody's so buttoned down. It really looks like a class operation.
Well, at both departments, we were very fortunate in this community to have two good police departments, or what I consider great police departments. But we really want to try to. Most people's expectation of service is what they observe immediately. So we want to make sure when we're getting out and everything we do, we give a good impression, and then we want to be in a situation where we followed up well. My biggest challenge over the years is really trying to get rid of that stereotype where a lot of people see campus police as something different, more of a security, or you hear all types of names from Mickey Mouse to police or whatever. Yeah. And we've grown in those years. I tell people if we answer bomb calls in 23 counties, it's obvious that we're a little different than a security group. Yeah. But you do have those stereotypes. I think a lot of people who have interaction with us from a service standpoint, a lot of times change their viewpoints. They just haven't had that interaction with us. Mm-hmm. Now, if you receive a negative interaction with us, meaning that we've arrested you or give you a citation, sometimes it's easy to continue to have a hard feelings or look at us, not in the most positive way. Yeah. But here again, even with that, I do get some good correspondence from people saying that while they didn't like the fact they were given a ticket or taken in jail, they felt that our people treated them very fairly and were very professional with them. And that's all we can do. That's all I can ask of them.
I had one interaction. A taillight went out, and they followed me all the way down Lumpkin, pulled me over on Washington, and they were just very nice. They gave me a fix-it ticket, very congenial. Question, do you have bike officers?
We do have bicycle officers, and we do have motor units, too. We have motorcycles. Our motorcycles concentrate on traffic enforcement on the main campus in those high-density areas where it's hard to have vehicles sit and watch, for pedestrian crosswalks, some of our really congested areas. And then our bicycles, we concentrate them mainly in the areas where we can't get the vehicular patrols in. They'll try to be in housing areas or through the North Campus, just kind of wherever we feel that we just can't get the visibility of the police with a vehicle.
Is it your intention to have that kind of policing on the new campus?
Well, we leave those resource options to the shift commanders for the certain teams, and they we empower them to make those decisions for where they want to dedicate their resources that day. So it's up to that shift lieutenant if he wants to put some bicycles in that area, and it would all be determined what was going on.